Tangled.
Hola, hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas
Is that you talking to us, Gary?
Noches.
Hola, hola, buenas noches.
Mira, ya salió Anguila aquí a calentar.
Mira, todos los muchachos del campamento.
All
Ay,
right.
se ven hermosos
Check, check,
de
check.
amarillo.
Check, check,
Y,
check.
y estábamos planeando para darles una camiseta. Y yo quería una camiseta blanca porque va a ser en el pleno calor. Y luego Peter dice, ¿por qué no le damos una camiseta de Puma? ¿Por qué no?
Nice.
Y le dimos una camiseta.
Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's telling you to talk. I don't think JJ can't. JJ can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't hear anything. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you hear that?
I did not hear anything from him. Is there?
Nah.
I
I
just
think
don't
he's going to come check it out.
Okay. Is there returning hit or anything?
It was working earlier. I don't know when you tested it. So do you hear him,
I hear him.
but you don't hear me?
I do not hear you. Okay. I like faintly hear him in the
Put him in the
background.
to your right. Go again, Gary.
Okay, it was the wrong. Yeah, I hear him. Right here, I got you. Gotcha. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I would like JJ up just a little bit in mine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Perfect. That works for me.
I could actually have Tyler go down a little bit higher.
Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's good.
Yep. Cool.
Yes, I'm here. Uno, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
He sounds perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good, good, good.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho.
On the input too? All right.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco.
Good, good.
Good. All right. Hey, póntelo. Póntelo.
¿Van a hacer?
Dijo que nos esperáramos.
Well, glad on your checks. Perfect.
All right.
Sounds good.
Got it.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
perfect. So during that 2 minute.
Sí, lo que siempre hacemos.
Lo estaba escuchando.
Ahí vamos, No voy a gritar aquí porque me emociono como si estuviéramos en vivo y ya después en el en vivo ya no me sale.
Guárdalo.
Sí, lo voy a guardar. Mira el Josh. Bien guapote, el vato.
Estaba metido en el carro también y Robert, todos estábamos metidos.
Qué mala suerte para Pedro, hermano.
¿Para quién? Sí, pobre.
Debutar y que te metan 3. Pero no fue culpa de él, ningún gol.
Ninguno.
¿Por qué ahora hay tanta gente? Tantos niños.
Por el campamento. No, también vinieron un
Pero
grupo
de-
de Sunni.
No, porque sí, siempre veo así, pero ahí hay
Suni, Nuevo México.
más.
¿Dónde queda Suni?
Está como a
¿Al norte o qué?
3 horas de aquí.
Ah,
Sí,
como para Farmington.
sí, norte. Para allá.
Ah, ok.
¿Ustedes no se quedaron en el juego del paso? ¿Se vinieron de allá luego cuando se acabó?
No, nos fuimos. Sí,
Se fueron.
no nos quedamos.
Porque un amigo mío iba para el paso y dijo, ahí vienen los camiones de United de regreso. Dije, debe ser la academia.
Ujú.
Oye, ¿qué le pasó a Armandito? ¿Está lesionado otra vez?
¿Cuál Armando?
¿Muñoz? Mandy.
Le está viendo un poquito difícil.
Pero todavía siente
No, está jugando bien. Está ahí jugando bien con la academia, pero no le dan la oportunidad. Pero
es que
tiene 21 años y 20. Obviamente,
Pero-
jugando con academia va a ser se
complicado.
espera que tienen que ser los mejores, pero obviamente si no entrena con el primer equipo no le van a dar una
Está Cristian.
mirada honesta.
Oh, ya lo vi.
Es el más alto, creo.
Trae la pelota a él.
Con los zapatos anaranjados, ¿verdad?
Ujú.
Le dieron nuevos, míralo. Uf, yo no lo he visto usar esos,
No, se los compré ayer.
Eres su
Soy su sugar daddy.
tú eres,
Eres
no,
su padrino.
Señoras y señores, estamos
Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park for the third matchup of the 2021 season between Switchbacks FC and New Mexico United. Pre-game coming in just a moment. The 2021 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. My name's Tyler Ortega, alongside JJ Buck, coming to you here live at the lab. JJ, it is a rainy night here. Kickoff delayed by about an hour here so far between these two clubs. But the good news is we're approaching kickoff, and we're probably going to see some fireworks tonight.
And New Mexico is hoping for some home fireworks, get a little revenge back from the 3-1 loss to the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, was a part of a 3-game losing streak, something that United and the fans are definitely not used to.
Yeah, and when you look at these two teams, JJ, it's really trending in opposite directions. Switchbacks, on the one hand, have won 4 out of their last 5, beating Tacoma, Austin, this same New Mexico United team, and Real Monarchs. And New Mexico, on the other hand, picking up just 2 wins in their previous 7 matches, a total of 7 points through there. Switchbacks, though, JJ, led by Haji Berry. We're going to talk about him more in just a second. And, you know, when it comes to Haji Berry, he has just been on fire so far this year.
He is a special player in special form at the moment, Haji Berry. Anything he touches goes in the back of the net, and one of the names you see up there on that screen is going to play a big part in trying to slow him down.
These are tonight's players to watch, brought to you by Lumen Optimal Wellness. Enjoy a healthier body and mind. And on the other side for New Mexico United, it is Sam Hamilton, who leads the team in tackles with 32. He's got 19 clearances, 11 interceptions, and we're actually going to see Sam in a little bit of a more different role than we're typically used to tonight, with him sitting up in that midfield.
He's going to be alongside Juan Pablo Guzman in that center mid defensive position, and I really like this change because New Mexico United, yes, we're going to talk about the forwards. They need to score goals, but they have to be strong defensively against such a good attack like Colorado Springs.
We're going to step aside for just a moment. When we return, we'll have lineups and kickoff.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded classic chicken sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live, non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
It's getting late, but your crew is just getting started. Head to B-Dubs for 50% off this loaded lineup of tots, chips, and ultimate nachos. But wait, how's beer for just $3? There's officially something for everyone, even that friend whose curfew is 10 p.m. Late night at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Tonight's match is presented by Fiesta Auto Group, JJ, as we look at the two sides here, New Mexico United, Switchbacks FC. Let's have a look at tonight's starting 11s, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. We'll start off first here with New Mexico United, and for the black and yellow, Alex Tambakis in between the sticks. As we mentioned there in the pregame, we see Sam Hamilton sliding up to the midfield, Brian Brown getting the start up top.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Brian Brown, an opportunity for one of these forwards to really take that role and run with it.
Yeah, for New Mexico United, nobody has scored more than 2 goals. So I think the black and yellow are looking for who's going to be that guy to step up. We see Andrew Tenari in there. He's already provided 4 assists so far this season, which leads the team. Sergio Rivas, he's actually scored against these same Colorado Springs Switchbacks this season. Speaking of the Switchbacks, let's have a look at their starting 11. In between the sticks, it's Sean Melvin. As we see, we've got Mahoney there in the back line alongside Ockford, we've got Echevarria, and of course, as we mentioned, Haji Berry, and he is paired up top with Galena. A lot of speed for this Switchbacks lineup.
Those three players up top for the Switchbacks, Galena, Berry, and Beckford on the season combined to score 17 goals, 11 assists. They know where to be and know how to set each other up.
Yeah, and Haji Berry by himself with 11 of those goals. He does lead the Puma Golden Boot race here in the USL Championship. As I mentioned, 11 goals in 10 appearances. And we've got kickoff here tonight at the Lab. I think that was great. I think that was perfect.
Yes, yes.
Sir, thank you.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park for the third matchup of the 2021 season here between Switchbacks FC and New Mexico United. Pre-game and kickoff coming up in just a moment. The 2021 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined tonight by JJ Buck at the Lab. JJ, it is a delayed start here, but the crowd has filled in. We're looking at probably the highest attended match so far of the season for New Mexico United as they get set to take on Switchbacks FC. And as we look at this matchup here tonight, it's really a tale of two teams, JJ. Switchbacks coming in, winning 4 of their last 5 matches, beating Tacoma, Austin, Real Monarchs, and this New Mexico United team just 2 weeks ago. United, on the other hand, they've only picked up 7 points in their last 7 matches, going 2 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. Switchbacks, let's have a look at the players to watch, presented by Lumen Optimal Wellness. Enjoy a healthier body and mind. And JJ, Switchbacks are led by Haji Berry, who is leading the Golden Boot race, 11 goals in 10 appearances.
It seems like everything he touches right now goes into the back of the net. He knows where to be in the final third, and his teammates know how to get him the ball. And the other name we saw there, Sam Hamilton, is going to have his hands full marking that man. Yeah,
Sam Hamilton is our player to watch for New Mexico United. And as you said, he's going to be stepping up into the midfield here this evening. And we're going to take a look at the starting 11 here in just a moment. But as we look here at the players to watch, you can see Sam Hamilton leading the team in tackles with 32. He's got 19 clearances and 11 interceptions. Sam Hamilton actually spent some time in this Colorado Springs Switchbacks system, as he was actually selected by the Colorado Rapids in the MLS Super Draft. So we're going to step aside for just a moment. When we return, we will have the starting 11 and kickoff.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded classic chicken sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, you deserved the best. Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary.
In New Mexico, we know true beauty, true adventure, true color, and true culture. Home to the artists, the warriors, and the multi-generational, multiracial, all-inclusive family that we call the United. This is New Mexico United, and New Mexico United is New Mexico true.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
It's getting late, but your crew is just getting started. Head to B-Dubs for 50% off this loaded lineup of tots, chips, and ultimate nachos. But wait, how's beer for just $3? There's officially something for everyone, even that friend whose curfew is 10 p.m. Late night at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Coming to you here live at the lab in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is just about time for kickoff. Before we get there, let's have a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Michelob Ultra. We'll start off first with the home side, JJ. We see Alex Tambakis in goal. We see Sam Hamilton, as we mentioned, moving up into the midfield. Tenari Rivas alongside Brian Brown up top. And I think for this New Mexico side, JJ, they're just looking for somebody to step up and start scoring.
Yeah, eyes on Tenari and the Rivas up top, where they play, and the service to Brown. There's a lot of talk about the forwards, but the ball has to be there for them to score.
And on the other side, for Switchbacks, we see Sean Melvin in goal. We see Ockford and Edwards there in the back line. Mayaka there in the 10 spot, and of course the line being led by Haji Berry, who has just a ton of speed. We mentioned him as our player to watch here tonight. JJ, he's got 11 goals, leading the Golden Boot race. He's scored in both matches against New Mexico United so far this season, and he is going to be a handful for the back line of the black and yellow here tonight. The lab is rocking, the curse is here. We've got a darkened night sky around us as we are officially underway. This game, of course, being delayed by some weather, inclement weather here in the Albuquerque area, with kickoff taking place about an hour after it was supposed to. And right away, it's Guzman doing some battle there. That's Mayaka. Rivas will close on the far side. Beckford has that poked away, and foul is going to be called against the captain, Josh Suggs.
You know, you see Josh Suggs there on the right side. He's playing that right wing-back position. And Daniel Bruce, Josh Suggs is going to be doing a lot of work box to box. And I know this week there's a lot of talk about goal scoring in the forwards, but United have to get it right defensively here tonight.
And we see the back line for New Mexico United. It's Rashid Tete, Kalen Ryden, who has played every single minute so far this season for New Mexico United. He's the only player to do so, as Ryden also leads the team in aerial duels, won, clearances, and blocks. So really the stalwart in the back three there for Troy Lesesne. Mahoney lays that off to Beckford. Ball played long for Galena. Daniel Bruce is there. Just enough to thwart the attack, and there's Bruce again, sticking his boot in to break up the through ball.
And for Daniel Bruce, his speed is going to be needed defensively. Down the wings for the Switchbacks, when you look at Beckford and Galena, they can absolutely fly. So he's going to be tested, as we talked about in that defensive end.
Well, the good thing for Daniel Bruce is that he owns a set of wheels for himself. So it's going to be a fun matchup to watch. And for what it's worth, no Harry Swartz in the team tonight for New Mexico United. Therefore, we're seeing Daniel Bruce getting the start. And early on, JJ, we're seeing the wingbacks for New Mexico United being flipped. We see Daniel Bruce here on the left, Josh Suggs over on the right.
And I'm really interested to see how Sam Hamilton plays as well, because he has experience playing in that defensive midfield position, and now him positioned in front of the back three. He can really do some work in trying to slow down Haji Berry.
Yeah, Haji Berry, as we mentioned, he's scored in both appearances against New Mexico United this season. Scored in the second minute on May 21st. That was actually the first goal scored at the new Widener Field. That ended up being a 3-1 loss for Switchbacks. And then again, just a couple of weeks ago on June 25th, scoring in the 82nd minute. That a 3-1 win for Switchbacks. Throwing coming up here for the visitors. That's going to be Anderson. Bruce now looking to play it over the top for Brian Brown. It chucks up nicely for Brown, but winning the foot race to that one was Edwards. Galena just out-muscles Daniel Bruce there as Bruce goes to ground, and Galena has that poked away by Sam Hamilton, who disagrees with that. Let's have a look at tonight's keys to the game, presented by Garcia Automotive Group. And for that, we've got contain the Colorado Springs attack, control the mid-pitch, and that's something, JJ, that we've talked about with Sam Hamilton stepping up into that midfield, and finish, finish, finish. Finish your goal opportunities, finish the match, and most importantly, finish this losing streak.
And one thing I really liked what Troy Lesesne said this week is They believe in the fans and the energy, but they know it's going to take more than just being in this building. Last week hurt. It was a rough week, but the players took it even harder. So they're going to be locked in. And to your point, they have to control the ball when they have possession, because that's what led to those 2 quick goals against bad turnovers against El Paso.
And really, when you look at that El Paso match, JJ, it was a bad 3-minute stretch. Other than that, New Mexico United, they got on the board first. I thought they controlled the tempo very well. But, again, that was the 3rd consecutive match for the Black and Yellow where they held the lead at halftime and lost it, as Melvin has to come all the way out. And we actually have a foul called against New Mexico United. That's going to go against Brian Brown. Melvin playing a little bit of sweeper keeper there.
Coming out challenging. Might have been an offsides call there for Brian Brown, but you like to see that because essentially he's the lone striker tonight for United. With Tenari and Rivas, they're going to have a lot of free space up there. But as much as we talk about someone stepping up, unfortunately right now for United, the veteran forwards, for more like older veteran forwards, you need that spark, but you got to get them that service.
Here's Suggs on the near side. Josh Suggs scored against Colorado Springs just 2 weeks ago in the 19th minute. He was the lone goal scorer on the evening. As that ball bouncing around a little bit, and it's going to roll back to Sean Melvin, who just clears that one away. Barry was offside, so he lets it roll, but Kalen Ryden with a rare misjudgment, and that almost turned into a goal for Galena.
Yeah, and the flag stayed down here on the near side. Luckily, Tambakis there to jump on that one, and that is what you don't want, an early mistake in this game.
Tambakis making his 2nd consecutive start after sitting out the match against Real Monarchs. Here's Daniel Bruce, the Englishman. Tries to cut back, and a great switch of play for the other wing back. It's Suggs tracking it down at the near side corner. Rivas. Oh, and what a ball played by Rivas. Here's Suggs, one-times it. And it falls to Sean Melvin, no problem.
Josh Suggs has been unbelievable in the attack recently. He's so good on the outside, but when he cuts inside, his touch, the way he sets himself up, and it's going to be fun to watch how he and Rivas play off each other.
Suggs scored goals in back-to-back games. We saw him score here the last time New Mexico United were at the Lab against San Antonio, and then followed that up, as I mentioned, in the 19th minute in Colorado Springs at Widener Field. So not only is Suggs getting it done, putting it in the back of the net, JJ, but he also comes in with 33 crosses on the season, which leads the team.
And you just look at the energy that Suggs has. He brings both on offense and defense. For as many minutes as he's played in his career, he looks fresh constantly. It's a credit to just his ability and the work he puts in between games.
Yeah, and you mentioned for how much he's played, Josh Suggs actually the USL's all-time leader in minutes played. He's played for Switchbacks as well. So he spent time with both clubs, of course, coming home to New Mexico, where he grew up in Las Cruces, just a few hours south of Albuquerque. Speaking of local New Mexicans, here's Sergio Rivas. He's a local Albuquerque kid. Guzman now plays it forward, just gets away from Tenari. Anderson doing his best to work out of a jam there. Ryden on that clearance, making sure to check over both shoulders.
And Tyler Sebastian Anderson, 14 chances created for his switchback. So he is someone that from that fullback position can get forward and provide good service.
Bruce playing a cross in, and he almost picked out Brian Brown. Melvin came out, and now they're going to say that Melvin touched it outside the box. And let's see what our official decides to do here. It looks like New Mexico United are lobbying for a card.
Yeah, and it looks like from an amateur lip reading up here that the switchbacks caught a huge break, and the ref is saying that it checked up and maybe hit his arm and wasn't an intentional handball.
And you can see there the captain for New Mexico United, Josh Suggs, trying to figure out what's going on there as we have a look here at this TLC replay. And that was a beautiful ball there from Daniel Bruce.
That one is tough. He was definitely on the edge of the 18 trying for the two-fisted punch, and it looks like the Switchbacks are going to catch a break, but it is a free kick in a dangerous position right outside the 18 straight on.
Tonight's replays are brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to home and business service needs. So this is a Fiesta Auto Group free kick here, JJ, in a tasty spot, and you can see some extracurriculars taking place there between Mayaka and Juan Guzman.
And Guzman trying to control the space. Mayaka just trying to be a pest and stand over the ball.
Mayaka stands 5'7", 135 out of Kenya. Guzman, on the other hand, stands 5'8" out of Colombia.
We saw Brian Brown score on a free kick against El Paso. Got Sergio Rivas involved, so right foot or left foot opportunity here.
Well, and you know Switchbacks saw the tape last week where Brown went under the wall, a little bit unconventional. You don't see that too often. It's going to be interesting to see who decides to take this free kick here. And it is Brian Brown, tries it again, bouncing around in the box. It's a scramble. Tenari plays it back. Rivas tries to chip, and he sends it up over the crossbar.
Oh, so Brown did the I did this last time, so you think I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do it again. Goes right at the wall, and then Rivas just there at the end trying to capitalize off the chaos inside the box.
As we have another look here, and it looked like it might have actually been one of the New Mexico United players that got in the way. I don't know if that was Hamilton or perhaps Kalen Wright in there, but a good opportunity early JJ squandered.
Yeah, but it's just kind of confidence that New Mexico wanted to have coming out. And the last 3 games, the losses, they've played well.
Right.
They've had the lead in those games. It's just been moments. It's been lapses that's let them down.
Guzman winning the header. Here's Tenari. Hamilton plays that out to Josh Suggs. Captain for the 3rd straight year here for New Mexico United. Here's Sergio Rivas. Plays the cross in, and it's cleared away by Ockford.
It's a tremendous run there by Sergio Rivas, bending enough to stay on side, ultimately earning the corner kick opportunity here. But so far, the runs for United have looked good early.
Corner kicks are brought to you by Bank of America. With 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. So it looks like it's going to be Josh Suggs down to deliver. He's got the option of playing it short to Andrew Tenari. We saw a few of these set-piece plays last week against El Paso, and it looks like we're going to see it again. Suggs back post looking for Hamilton and just gets away from him.
New Mexico's been better on set pieces. It was something a couple years ago they were very good at, and when you're struggling to score in open play, it's a great opportunity, and New Mexico's got some ones still in their back pocket.
Galena here trying to work out of some tight space. It's going to be a throw in here for Switchbacks. So it is a gorgeous night here, JJ. Temperatures dropped quite significantly from what we were looking at just a couple of hours ago. We were in triple digits here down in Albuquerque, but some rainstorms came, some lightning came, and with that, the temperature dropped. However, in a place that's usually used to dry heat, we're dealing with 49% humidity here this evening.
Yeah, it feels nice, but if you're out there running in this, it's going to add a little bit of that heaviness to it. Now, the field did hold up well. That's one of the credit. The ground crew here at Isotopes Park is phenomenal, but there's always that question mark with the turf that is over the infield. Now, how's that going to play? Because it did rain pretty hard for maybe 20, 30 minutes here.
And our official is heading over to have a word with United gaffer Troy Lassane. And Troy Lassane, in his 3rd year at the helm for New Mexico United, made the play-in round in 2019, made it to the 2nd round of the playoffs in 2020, losing to the rivals to the south, El Paso, and penalty kicks. But Troy Lassane, obviously a little disgruntled there. We're back to action As that ball headed away, it's going to be a throw in for the black and yellow. Daniel Bruce out of Warrington, England. I'm sure he's watching the Euro Championships with a close eye.
Is it coming home or is it going to Rome?
I guess we'll have to wait to see tomorrow. So another Fiesta Auto Group free kick coming up here. It looks like it's going to be Daniel Bruce to deliver the service. You know, you've got a right-footed wing back there playing on the left side, and now comes over Josh Suggs, the left footer, to deliver this one in. He's got the option to play it short to Bruce, and Bruce is not marked. Mayaka opting to stay with Suggs, and now he's got some help. So here's Suggs, crosses in, back post, and it falls. Tenari! And he laces it over the crossbar.
Another set play that was set up fantastically. The deep ball, the header back right to the foot of Tenari, who has shown the ability to finish. Just couldn't keep that one down.
Yeah, Tenari hit a very nice goal against Real Monarchs on June 30th. And I asked him about that in the press conference, and I asked him what was going through your mind, and he said, you know, when I turned around, I didn't see anybody there. I had a little bit of space, so I said, why not? That's his second goal for New Mexico United. We are going to see a yellow card issued here.
And it's Andrew Tenari drawing the foul, the card. You see the ref right there telling it. Elbow went up into the back, and it's been chipper early. And this is what is going to happen in the Mountain Division. These teams see each other a lot. You already had Colorado Springs. You know, they responded. They wanted revenge after a 3-1 loss that New Mexico handed them. Now it's United trying to get one back, and these guys are going to be going at it for 90-plus minutes.
And that yellow card was brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. That one is given to number 16, Maconglia. And now New Mexico United are celebrating, and they have scored off the free kick. And New Mexico United are on top 1-0 in the 17th minute.
And another unbelievable set piece, just creating opportunity after opportunity. And finally, United able to capitalize. It's just that quick touch which gets the runners going, and then the finish at the end.
And that New Mexico United goal was scored by Sergio Rivas. Goals are brought to you by T-Mobile. T-Mobile has Sergio Rivas covered.
And another ball that was played wide, played back into the box, and you're getting those late runs. You're getting the switchbacks defenders on their back feet. They're not sure who to mark in the box. Comes back across, and there is Sergio Rivas putting United on the board.
So switchbacks will look to claw their way back into this one. Both meetings between these two sides, JJ, this season have ended 3-1. So if that's any sign of what we're going to see tonight, we should see a couple more find the back of the net. And now things get even more chippier with Ockford and Rivas having words. And our official is stepping in to take charge of this match. As Jimmy Ockford having some words. Guzman, the rest of the United players, speaking with our official here this evening.
Another high elbow you see there, Josh Suggs talking to our referee. Now, you want to go at it. You want these teams to go back and forth, but coming in high, head and neck area, that's what you don't want to see. And that's why, of course, Sergio Rivas is going to step up for his teammate, Brian Brown, in that situation.
And Brian Brown is on his feet. He seems to be okay. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. And we've got another yellow card issued here to Jimmy Ockford in the 19th minute. Again, that is a Roadrunner Law Firm yellow, and it looks like Sergio Rivas will go into the book for a second time in 2 minutes as he picks up a yellow card as well.
Yeah, and you know the ref, you saw him early, trying to say, hey, I want to take control of this, but when he gets to that point, he's getting the cards out, he's trying to set the tone. This is going to be a physical game, and already 3 players, 2 for the Switchbacks, 1 for United on the yellow card. So now we'll see how the players respond.
Off the restart, here's Sam Hamilton, plays it back to Guzman. Suggs near side. It's Yearwood. During the last homestand, Austin Yearwood hit an absolute worldie on the goal in front of the Curse, which actually won goal of the week for week number 9. It is time for the Magic Minute here at the Lab. As I mentioned, this is the largest home crowd to date this season for New Mexico United as they are easing out of COVID restrictions here. They will be at 100% capacity for the match on July 24th. So we may be seeing New Mexico United cracking maybe 10,000 here this evening as we look. JJ, the berm is full. The elevated sections are full. The concourse is packed. Just an incredible atmosphere here as always.
It worked out. Unfortunately, we did have the delay, but what it did is it dropped the temperature. It's still a Friday night, so we're going to have some fun watching this soccer match, and the fans stuck it out because that's what United fans do.
The ball's played out by Sean Melvin unintentionally, I'm sure, but it's going to be a throw-in here for New Mexico United. There's head coach Troy Lesane and captain Josh Suggs looking to break the losing streak here in front of the home crowd. Barry turns, plays it across, and that ball almost poked away by Rivas. Now this ball played forward, Tete tracking. That ball played in, and Ryden clears it away. That was Beckford playing that ball into the box.
And you see with the wing players for the Switchbacks, when on the outside, they have one thing in mind. Put the ball in the center box and hope Haji Berry's running to the end of it.
A little bit of a miscommunication there, but Yearwood able to recover. And that's going to be a foul called against Sam Hamilton. And for what it's worth, we haven't seen Haji Berry a ton around the 18. It looks like he's maybe sinking back, trying to find a little bit of rhythm. But make no mistake, he's going to be looking to get his.
And that's one thing with this Switchbacks team. The players talk about it. Head coach Brendan Burke talks about it, is they have a confidence that they feel they are always in it. They know that the goals are coming. It's just when. So whether it's a 1-goal lead for United, 2 goals, they're going to have to be on point, their execution defensively for the entire 90.
And you mentioned head coach Brendan Burke there for Switchbacks. The exact words he used to describe his front three, deadly. Header won there by Yearwood. And actually they're going to call a foul on Austin Yearwood. Quick restart. Let's have a look at tonight's Ben Sherman Law injury report, and it's only one person listed. It's Harry Swartz for New Mexico United with a lower body injury. Galena and Josh Suggs just having a little fun down there.
And these teams, there's going to be nothing new on the scouting report when you play your Mountain Division opponents as much as they do. So it's a little things. It's, of course, the execution, but then flipping Suggs and Bruce and then giving the defenders just a little bit different look. So small things like that throughout the game.
And here we're seeing a little bit of gamesmanship. Switchbacks know that New Mexico like to play the restarts quickly. So what we're starting to see here is every time a whistle is blown for a free kick, Switchbacks players flock to the ball and don't let the black and yellow get started. And I think that's where Guzman is having that issue.
And for New Mexico, players like Guzman, Suggs, they're going to have to step up. You want to push back, but you also don't want to be the team that breaks in this situation. You don't want to be the team that gets that second yellow card. So keep frustrating the Switchbacks and then control your game.
That ball played forward. Here comes Galena, who's looking for the run of Haji Berry. Rivas now. Somehow that ball stays in play. Finds its way back to Edwards. Spreads it to Anderson. Ockford picked up the first yellow, or excuse me, the second yellow that we saw here this evening. Switchbacks just looking comfortable in possession, playing it through the back line.
I see United in no hurry right now to press. Rivas showing a little bit there, but they want to hold strong at the bat, prevent situations like this.
And now Yearwood goes to ground. Luckily, Kalen Wright in there to clean up the mess, but Galena was through.
And that's in an instant. Those wingers for the Switchbacks can turn the corner.
Berry plays it out. Here's Mayaka. Now Makangila. Switch of play. It's Anderson. Looking for Beckford. Beckford far side, marked by Tete, and that's blocked by Tete. It's out for a Bank of America corner kick. You can see Sam Hamilton and Rashid Tete just having some words there, discussing some strategy, defensive strategy, as we've got Anderson here to deliver the corner. Cross in, back post, and it's Sam Hamilton heading it away. Falls to Mayaka. Here's Mayaka again. Goes down trying to get the foul call, but to no avail.
United, the first chance for the Switchbacks to set up on a corner. Did really well there, and what we see with New Mexico in zonal marking, and they held strong right there at the top of the 6-yard box, got the first touch on it, and then did not allow a second chance.
The foul going to be called there on Anderson as Daniel Bruce goes to ground. Switch of play to Suggs near side. Here's the goal scorer, Sergio Rivas. Play it all the way back to Alex Tambakis. And that one just gets away from Daniel Bruce. And Rivas with the sliding tackle there. It's another throw in here for Switchbacks.
We see with Rivas and Tenari, they're pretty much given the free ability to switch, whether it's on the right side or the left side, and then come back and pressure if the ball is in our vicinity.
Cross played in, back post, and Austin Yearwood coming to save the day. Otherwise, that would have been a tap in there for Galena. Anderson battling with Daniel Bruce, and you can hear the echoes of Bruce coming from the 9,000 plus we have here this evening. Beckford tries to wiggle away from Tete. Beckford. Another Bank of America corner kick coming up here.
Man, with that clearance from Yearwood, clutch right there. We've seen 2 big-time clearances from Ryden and Yearwood here with the switchbacks on the front foot.
Here's Anderson again. Delivers. And that is headed away by a combination. It looked like Hamilton and Ryden were both there. Mayaka tries to put a shot on goal. And here's Tenari here with the little quick poke away, but Galena is there to regain possession for switchbacks. '30th minute here so far. New Mexico United on top 1-0 at the lab. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined by JJ Buck. Thanks for hanging out with us here for some Friday night football. Whether you're watching on ESPN Plus or in the state of New Mexico on Estrella TV, thanks for hanging out. Galena tracked that one down, but Tete able to win the throw-in.
And this is a big opportunity for Tete. Squad rotation is important. We have 2 games in 4 days, and it's going to be those players that when their number is called, step up, have to play a big role because you still have to keep that chemistry. But Troy Lesane has to rotate his team to keep them fresh.
3rd appearance, 3rd start of this season here for Rashid Tete. He was actually voted the New Mexico United Rookie of the Year in 2019 by his teammates. As he's starting to make his way back into the matchday squad here in 2021. Yearwood tried to get fancy with it and ultimately ends up winning the throw-in.
And those are the little things you get from an Austin Yearwood, who was a fullback by trade, so you know he's good on the ball. Or Sam Hamilton, that really did play a lot in his early career as a defensive midfielder. To bring the different dynamics, as we've seen the back 3 become the staple for Troy Lesane.
When that ball falls, cross played in, and it goes across the face of goal, but luckily for New Mexico, no switchbacks inside the 18. You know, JJ, both of these teams, as we've seen, they like to get up and down the pitch. With Colorado Springs being very high in altitude, as well as Albuquerque, you know, I think we may be in for a track meet here this evening.
Yeah, these teams, they're not going to run out of energy late. Yeah, they might take a couple deep breaths, but the way they train, the altitude is their advantage, and it's going to be one where execution in those moments is key. Maybe when you've lost a little bit on your touch or in the legs, do you have the focus, there's complete passes in the final third to make that clearance when you have to.
And Galena there was looking for Haji Berry in the 18, but falls to Alex Tambakis out of Athens, Greece. You know, and when New Mexico United had Cody Mizell, JJ, he would wear orange. So they started calling him El Gato Naranja, which translates to the orange cat. So now that Tambakis is here, he's wearing green. He's Greek. I'm just saying, maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something there.
I know on social media you're going to start getting some ideas, and we're going to crowdsource this one and work this out.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, staff, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Here's Haji Berry, through on goal. Haji Berry, right foot, levels it for switchbacks in the 33rd minute. Haji Berry quiets the lab.
And those are the mistakes that have hurt New Mexico United over the 3-game stretch. A bad giveaway in the final third, and of course the leading goal scorer in the USL Championship is going to finish that one.
As we see Haji Berry here, and we do have an injury here as we take a look at that TLC replay. And it looks to be Sam Hamilton down for New Mexico as we saw him slide in late. The trainer, Tyler Harris, is out having a look at him. It looks to be something going on with the left ankle. As we have another look here is Ryden, a rare miss for Kalen Ryden there. And you can see immediately Hamilton goes to ground after missing on the slide tackle. But Haji Berry scoring his 3rd goal in as many games against the black and yellow here, JJ. And for whatever reason, I mean, he's been lighting everybody up. That's his 12th goal in 11 appearances. He is your Puma Golden Boot leader so far in the USL Championship. He even had a stretch where he scored in 7 consecutive matches starting on May 14th, ending on June 25th.
It's about time, place, opportunity. And Haji Berry fitting in so well with this Switchbacks team. And you got to give a lot of credit to the Colorado Springs organization, because I think what frustrates some fans with the last result against the Switchbacks is you just kind of have a feeling, oh, they're the team from the last couple seasons that's been at the bottom of the table. And it's not the case with the roster they put together. They've done a great job of still having that affiliation with Colorado Rapids. There's some young players that are in the squad, but they've allowed the Switchbacks to go out and acquire some veteran players, bring in a Haji Berry, guys that can help the young guys win right away. And it has been an entirely different Switchback squad. And you can say the same thing about Rio Grande Valley this season.
Yeah, and with the form that Haji Berry has been in, I think that's what Switchbacks were expecting last year when they brought in South African winger George Labisi. He has a massive following from South Africa. We know that he has a ton of pace. He scored goals, a ton of goals before, but they just, for whatever reason, didn't get that from Labisi. But Haji Berry, as you said, has just come in and been amazing.
And it's a situation where it's not unexpected. That man was the 13th overall pick in MLS Super Draft.
Right.
So the talent was there. It just never clicked, never fully got the opportunity, and now we're seeing it come to form.
And as you may have seen while we were talking, we do have the ambulance out on the pitch for Sam Hamilton. He's being tended to by both trainers. So we do have a little bit of a break here so far. And this is, it's one of the unfortunate parts of the game, JJ, injuries. So we will send all of our best wishes to Sam Hamilton, as this does not look to be very good.
And you saw it was the left leg, potentially looking at that left ankle, and it's right there on the edge between the grass that is in place and then the grass that is covering the infield. And it's just unfortunate to see him get caught, trying to challenge Haji Berry.
And, don't want to make any speculations, but from what we could see on that replay, it looks as though when he slid through his trail leg, perhaps might have gotten caught under him. But there is UC being helped into the Albuquerque Fire Rescue ambulance. And, again, sending our best wishes, our thoughts to Sam Hamilton. So let's have a look at the upcoming schedule. These are around the USL. We see Charlotte Independence getting ready to take on Phoenix Rising. That match taking place tomorrow. It's a 7 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Phoenix making the trip out to North Carolina. And on the other side, it's Atlanta United 2. They're going to be hosting Sporting Kansas City 2. And that's going to be a 7:30 Eastern time kickoff tomorrow. And then Hartford Athletic, the former club of Harry Swartz, will be playing as well. So it looks like we're going to see Michael Azira entering for Sam Hamilton. Azira, and we've talked before about the depth, JJ, of this New Mexico United squad. Sam Hamilton goes off with injury, but then you're able to bring in a guy like Michael Azira, who has international experience with the Ugandan national team. He has 130 appearances in MLS for Seattle, for Colorado Rapids, for Montreal, for Chicago. And then when you look at the USL, he's also made 10 appearances. He's started 5 games so far for New Mexico United. This will be his 11th appearance of the season. So I'm sure Troy Lesane glad that he has somebody like that he can bring in.
Well, this is a time where you need the veterans to step up. Guzman, Azira in the midfield, help get that focus back to the back three. Those 5 are going to be so important moving forward to settle this game down, because this is a really hard moment to get through. All right, you just gave up a goal, but it's not, oh, a sprained ankle, I'm going to go sit on the bench. You're seeing a teammate leave in an ambulance, so there's a lot of emotions flowing through United right now.
Well, and not just that, like you mentioned, you just gave up the goal. It's Haji Berry scoring on you once again. And, you know, for what it's worth, some of the reactions that we saw from the players immediately, you know, you saw Kalen Ryden turn around and kind of slap the ground in frustration after he saw Sam Hamilton. Same thing with Alex Tambakis. These are going to be a very crucial next 10-plus minutes here for New Mexico United going into the break.
No doubt, because that's one that you can't just get out of your head quickly. So you just got to play, connect some passes, you know, keep it simple and clean for the next few minutes.
And I think if you're New Mexico United, you're just trying to get to the halftime break without allowing another one in the back of the net. Speaking of, here's Haji Berry, the goal scorer, gets it right back from Anderson. Ockford. Here's Bruce. Outside of the boot. Cheeky and flicked on by Tenari, but Ockford was there. Rivas now comes back in possession for United and wins the throw-in. So throw-in coming up here for New Mexico United, looking for Brown in the box, and it's pinged around a couple of times by Switchbacks, and now they are in possession. Daniel Bruce pokes that out for a Switchbacks throw. Fans, we'd like to remind you to tune in to ESPN2 on Saturday, July 17th, as the USL on ESPN continues with a Mountain Division clash. These Colorado Springs Switchbacks and the new Widener Field set step into the national spotlight, welcoming San Antonio FC for a 2 p.m. Eastern matinee. Don't miss a second. Saturday, July 17th, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
It's really been a first half that's split. Opening part of the first half, advantage New Mexico United, and we've watched Colorado Springs be on the front foot, and shouldn't expect anything different from these teams that know each other so well. It's going to be a back-and-forth battle, and it's going to be on getting it to halftime, the resetting of just the mindset, and then coming out with that attacking energy to start the second half.
With New Mexico United playing every match away from home in the 2020 season, this is the first time that Switchbacks have been back at the lab in 665 days, JJ. Going all the way back to September of 2019, where New Mexico United won 3-1, and that night it was Big Devin Sandoval, notching his first and only hat trick for the black and yellow that night. Sandoval not in the 11 tonight. But as we've seen between these two sides, for whatever reason, that 3-1 scoreline keeps coming up.
That's coming up. It's, you know, when one team's been on and they've been on in a big way really to bury the other team. And you look at New Mexico's victory, that 3-1 victory, it was tight. That was a 97th minute goal essentially from Daniel Bruce, which gave them that 3-1 advantage. So these teams have been so close this season, but here's an opportunity late. Take that deep breath and set up this free kick, and set pieces have been advantage New Mexico in the first half.
You've got the righty Bruce, the lefty Suggs standing over this one. I mean, I think if this is an interesting angle here, JJ. I think if you're Daniel Bruce, maybe you just try to float one up towards that back post. Same thing if you're Suggs, I guess. It's definitely too far for one of these guys to have a look at goal. And it is Bruce going for that back post. Poked around, and it was Azira who nearly tapped it in. And we're going to have another Bank of America corner kick.
And it's been that second ball. In this case, it might not have been a great touch, but it was hit into an area where that second, third runner can come in and create some havoc. And here we go, another corner.
Heading over to take this one. I believe it's Andrew Tenari. Tenari plays it in near post, and it's sent away by Galina. Rivas throw in finds Bruce. Bruce somehow able to work his way out of that one, and it was Mayaka coming in to play it out for a corner. So Daniel Bruce here, or excuse me, that's Andrew Tenari taking the corner. Near post, and it's headed away once again by Switchbacks. This falls to Austin Yearwood. Here's Guzman, and a bad giveaway from Guzman. And now, here comes Beckford, a big save by Alex Tambakis. And now New Mexico United looking to counter. Here's Rivas, he turns, he's got Brian Brown, plays it to Josh Suggs. Suggs crosses, and Brown turned his run towards the middle of the 18. It looks like Suggs was trying to pick him out at the back post. Here's Brown. In for Tenari, crosses it, goes across the face of goal, and fortunately for Switchbacks, nobody in black and yellow there. Here comes Beckford once more. Tete goes down. Beckford does well to keep his footing, plays it in, Barry, Galina, and somehow Switchbacks don't get a shot on frame.
Okay, Barry, a little too unselfish right there, but we have to go back to that save from Tambakis. You know, a tough position for him with the forward bearing down on him. And I'll give a little bit of credit to Rashid Tete doing just enough galloping, I think got in the ear of Beckford.
And here's Haji Barry. Galina now. Tries it on the right foot, deflected, and it's going to be out for a corner kick. Kalen Ryden stepping in to block that one.
But again, Tyler, a bad pass in their own half of the field. New Mexico United have to be better. Too many mistakes leading to goals over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you know, for what it's worth, you expect a lot better out of a veteran, a savvy veteran like Juan Pablo Guzman. We saw him with a bad giveaway last week that turned into a goal against El Paso. Nearly the same thing here as this corner kick goes in, and that was headed by a United player, almost found the back of the net, and now Brian Brown goes to ground, and he's going to require some assistance. And as we are in the 48th minute, now would be a good time to tell you that the referee has added 6 minutes of New Mexico Piñon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of a piñon.
It's just been a gut-wrenching last 20 minutes or so for New Mexico United, from the goal to Sam Hamilton. And now Brian Brown back defending on the corner, getting a little dinged up. I think at this point, I know, of course, with the injury that we saw the added time, both teams will be happy to hear the halftime whistle.
Well, and for New Mexico United, if for whatever reason Brian Brown is not able to continue, they do have Devin Sandoval on the bench, who, as we look over at the technical area, behind the bench, I should say, Sandoval starting to warm up. Ilya Illich, also an option they could turn to as far as true number 9s. Brown looks to be okay. He's made his way back to center pitch over at the fourth officials area. Suggs able to poke that one away from Galina. And Brown is back on. That's, I'm sure, a very welcomed sight for the black and yellow faithful. Also want to throw a shout out to the supporters group for Switchbacks, the Trailheads. We saw a few of them out in the tailgate lot prior to the match tonight. Always nice to see some traveling support.
And it's definitely great when you have these Friday, Saturday games, and with the way the Mountain Division is set up, a lot of travel that is doable between Colorado Springs and El Paso. And if you want to make the trek in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, a beautiful facility out there. I was fortunate enough to take in a match there last summer, and that is one place that's doing it right. Anderson will play it back. So 4.5 of our 6 allotted stoppage time minutes gone by. It's still 1-1 here at the lab. Goals by Sergio Rivas in the 17th minute, followed up by Haji Berry in the 33rd. So that ball's going to fall there to Echevarria. Tries to play it out for Mahoney. Mahoney wins the throw-in. Yearwood's there once again. And Galina goes to ground. You can see Josh Suggs heading over just to make sure he's all right.
Yeah, it was a strong, fair challenge there by Yearwood. And you just, even in a moment like that, you just see Galina, Beckford, just how quickly they can hit the accelerator and put you in a tough position.
Mayaka. Here's Guzman looking to play Tenari forward. That pass cut out there by Ockford. Ockford will play it across to Anderson. And that is the halftime whistle here at the lab. New Mexico United and Switchbacks tied 1 goal apiece. JJ, interesting first half to say the least.
Definitely advantage in open play. Colorado Springs getting downfield, creating chances, putting balls in the box. United were at their best on the set piece opportunities, having possession, drawing fouls, or putting pressure on during those corner kicks. But again, the mistake in the back, rearing its ugly head again, leading to a goal for Switchbacks.
And that was the goal there for New Mexico United. It was a tap in there off of a free kick for Sergio Rivas. That is his 3rd goal of the season, and he now leads the black and yellow in goals scored. That was the 2nd time he's actually scored against Switchbacks, as he scored at home and away against this club. And it was another beautifully designed set piece there, JJ, as we've seen that really be the focus over the past couple of matches for New Mexico United.
Such a great delivery.
So we're going to go ahead and step aside for just a moment. The halftime break coming up.
years, BIOS has been proudly serving New Mexico. We love being a part of this community and the New Mexico United family, and helping everyone from homeowners to home builders create a space that's both beautiful and practical. Shopping local is about more than getting a great deal. It's about supporting your community, your neighbors, your friends. Visit BIOS in Albuquerque and see how shopping local supports your New Mexico community.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the lab. It is halftime. New Mexico United and Switchbacks FC tied at 1 goal apiece. Halftime is brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. As we said, JJ, it was a strange first half. It seemed like the black and yellow were on top of things throughout the first 20 or so minutes, and then Switchbacks just put their foot on the gas.
New Mexico benefited when it was chippy. The game was slow. You had the stops. You had the ability to set up those free kicks for the corners. And when things got going, it was back and forth. It was advantage Switchbacks when they're using their speed on the wings. And it was one where even up here, it felt weird. There was no rhythm to it. But sit here at 1-1, it's a chance to reset at halftime.
Yeah, and I think, if you're New Mexico United, JJ, what changes are you making here at the break?
I think it's refocusing in on the things that they talked about. Because the big thing with Troy Lasane this week was accountability. And he said, all right, I know the fans are hurting, but we're hurting just as much. We have to focus in. And it's just been those little lapses and focus on the field that you can't have when you're passing the ball in your final third. You don't expect that from Guzman or someone else in that situation. Because for New Mexico, you look at the two dangerous chances, they're both off giveaways that they handed the Switchbacks.
Right, and we saw New Mexico putting some pressure early on goal. They had some really good opportunities. Obviously, Rivas able to cash in on one of those. But after that, not a whole lot doing on that far end of the field.
And I'm not surprised, especially just with the way Troy set this team up today. He talked this week about having to not just adjust to squad rotation, but maybe to some of the things that they're seeing in terms of players and players that are available.
So let's have a look here at the Mountain Division standings presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. And atop the mountain, it is RGV with 21 points. Although they have played 12 matches, El Paso in second, 18 points. They have 3 games in hand over RGV. Switchbacks sitting in third, 17 points. And then in fifth, outside of the playoff line, JJ, you see the black and yellow of New Mexico United with 14 points. So Switchbacks coming in 3 points up, a game in hand. To say that tonight's game is crucial, I think is an understatement.
It's a massive game, and New Mexico United understands that, especially it being with a Mountain Division opponent and coming back home. These are huge games. These are like 6-point games when you're playing your Mountain Division opponents ahead of Charleston on Monday. Now, one thing for New Mexico is they're going to have more home games on the back end. Now, you got to handle business now, but you do have opportunities on the schedule.
Yeah, New Mexico United picking up only 7 points here in their previous 7 matches, looking to add to that total tonight. We're going to step aside for just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
This is Oscar Jimenez from Louisville City FC.
Hi, my name is Carl Howard. I currently play for the Indy 11.
What's up, everybody? It's Connor Sparrow with the Miami FC.
Josué Soto checking in here. Austin Bold FC.
Hello, guys. This is Luis Herrera from El Paso Locomotive. Just wanted to share with you guys my favorite soccer moment, and that will be the day I made my professional debut for El Paso, which is my hometown.
Anderson swings it in. Barry making the run, gets a deflection. He puts it in. Colorado Springs has its lead. And the save from Cardoni, it's there, and Cardoni with a huge save. Beautiful ball through, and that's in. Brilliant.
In the 2019 Reader's Choice Awards from the Albuquerque Journal, Sandia Resort and Casino was voted Albuquerque's favorite casino. Best customer service, best entertainment venue, best slot machines and poker room, best variety of table games, best rewards program, and best golf course. Best buffet, favorite nightclub, favorite casino. Albuquerque, you deserve the best. Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary.
This is where I keep my memories. Those carefree days when we were all so close. Those sounds, shapes, those special places. I've missed them. I'm ready for some new adventures. And so is New Mexico.
Welcome back to the lab here, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Ortega, JJ Buck here on the call tonight. It is the third meeting of the season between these two sides. Both of the previous meetings taking place at the brand new and very nice Widener Field up in downtown Colorado Springs. Both of those matches ending 3-1. However, one victory going to United, one victory going to Switchbacks. So tonight will be the rubber match before these two teams meet one final time in the regular season, and that'll be their fourth matchup of the season. Is the way that the conference's divisions, I should say, are set up this season. So let's have a look at tonight's halftime stats, brought to you by Duke City Cares. 1 goal apiece. But as we can see, JJ, a lot of shots coming from either side. Combined 14, 8 for United, 6 for Switchbacks. Switchbacks, however, dominating possession.
And you see that when Colorado Springs has the ball, if they're just passing it back and forth, United's content sitting back. They're saying, all right, we're going to hold our lines, hold our blocks. We don't want to get in a foot race with you. And the times that they do try to pressure, it's either off a break, off an opportunity, or if they catch Switchbacks going back towards their own goal. So that's a number that you don't usually see that with United, but just the way they're set up and playing tonight, it is going to be advantage Switchbacks.
We do see 3 yellow cards between the two sides, 2 of them for Switchbacks, those being Macangila in the 16th minute, Ockford picking one up just a few minutes later in the 19th, and then for New Mexico United, it was Sergio Rivas in the 19th minute picking up his yellow card as well.
The game was really chippy early.
Let's go ahead and have a look at the first half highlights here as we have a look, and that was Haji Berry leveling the score for the visitors, scoring his 12th goal on the season. Still your Puma Golden Boot leader in his 11th appearance. That was actually his 3rd goal in as many games against the black and yellow. And then we see Tambakis coming up big with a huge save as Beckford was through. And, you know, Beckford is going to be dreaming about that one for quite some time.
Yeah, Beckford had more time than he anticipated, and you got to give a little credit there to Tete for continuing his run, and you don't know if it was a loud breath, maybe a footstep that Beckford thought he didn't have as much time, so it worked out there. You know, Tambakis, that's a hard place to be in as a goalkeeper, judging which distance to be at, and that was a big-time save.
Tambakis comes in to this one with 30 saves on 40 shots faced. That's 75% save percentage. Obviously, with 10 goals conceded this year, make that 11 now with Haji Berry. And Tambakis, he did have 3 clean sheets leading in a stretch leading up to this match. However, the 3 previous matches, New Mexico United have conceded 8 goals.
Yeah, and you know Tambakis is frustrated, but that is definitely a goal in that first half where his team isn't going to come back and say, hey, that's on us. We made a bad mistake.
We're going to step aside here for just a couple of minutes. Second half coming up when we return.
B-Dub's new crispy hand-breaded for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
The July 4th savings event ends Sunday at American Home Furniture and Mattress, where you always get more bang for your buck. Right now, save up to 40% store-wide and take advantage of 60-month financing. Plus, get a free complimentary 2-night hotel stay. Shop the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Hot buys for every room in your home. Free front door delivery. We guarantee you'll pay less. American Home Furniture and Mattress.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Get your associate's degree in 17 months with CNM Online. A fast degree, no hidden fees, books included, all at an affordable price. All of your courses can be completed online. Take the next step in your career. Get your degree from CNM Online.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the lab. Tyler Ortega, JJ Buck here, getting ready for the second half. Both sides are out onto the pitch. New Mexico United will now be attacking from right to left on your screen, attacking the goal in front of their supporters section. The curse and the supporters section, JJ, is just packed as we have a look here at the news and notes around the league. The Gold Cup is going on right now. 17 players from USL Championship and USL League One are playing in that tournament, including New Mexico United's own Armando Moreno, as he is playing for the El Salvador national team, and Haji Berry, so we've seen him here tonight. He scored one more goal to add to his tally, but in the front office, he signed a 2-year contract extension where he will be tied to the club through the 2023 season. And then Orange County, as we look out west, they extend their unbeaten streak to 7 as Chris Wehan getting down to business back in his home place.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. A huge Chris Wehan fan since his days playing for the New Mexico Lobos, but it was an opportunity for Chris to go back home to California. And, of course, you know wherever Chris plays, he's going to play well.
And it looks like we have a halftime substitution for New Mexico United. We see Brian Brown leave the match, and he's replaced by the hometown hero, Devin Sandoval. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, last time Devin Sandoval played against Colorado Springs here at the lab, he scored a hat trick. Might be a little bit more challenging to do it here in 45 minutes, but I'm sure Devin likes a challenge.
And you know, Devin has a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He hasn't played well. And as a forward, it's tough. You need the service. Hasn't been there from United, but I'm expecting a lot of energy, a strong second half from Devin Sandoval.
Well, and I think that's the key word that you think of when you think of Sandoval, right? It's strong. He's not the quickest guy. He's not the most athletic, but he's excellent in his hold-up play. His distribution is top-notch as well, and he's got just a large frame. He's a proper number 9.
Yeah, and so if New Mexico can get back to the way they were playing in the first half, we see some now pressure here from Rivas, but controlling the ball, getting some free kick opportunities, that's where Sandoval can stand out.
Speaking of, that's Sandoval doing some battle there with Macanguila. Up to Haji Berry. And Berry mishits that one. It's going to be a throw-in for New Mexico United. And That substitution there, Devin Sandoval entering the match, is brought to you by REDW. There's no substitution for integrity. REDW, CPAs, and advisors. And we'll be right back here again, JJ, in just a couple of days as New Mexico United taking on Charleston Battery, cross-conference matchup. It's the first matchup between the two sides. A lot of history between the two clubs. Troy Lesane, Zach Prince have both played there, won a USL Cup there. So you know that is going to be a very, very special occasion for them. Again, that's going to be on Monday night. It's Monday Night Football at the Lab here in Albuquerque as Tete plays that one back to Tambakis. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great, and it's a fun weekend. You know, Friday night contest and some Monday Night Football in the summer. And you hope that we can focus on those storylines. There can be some excitement, but a hard 45 to pull off 3 points here in the second half.
That whistle goes against New Mexico United. It's going to be a free kick here for Switchbacks.
That first half for Colorado Springs, if you look back on some of the things Brendan Burke was saying this week, it played out pretty much as the Switchbacks expected it. He said that he knew New Mexico was going to be very combative and direct early. They had to be ready for the energy, but it was about putting the game on their own terms, and I think that explains kind of what we saw in that first half.
And here, I think this is probably about the fourth or fifth time that we've seen Guzman and Mayaka both being spoken to by our official tonight. Guzman, I think, took exception to a challenge that occurred just about a minute ago that left him on the ground. Back to the action here. That ball poked forward. Here's Beckford once again, and Kalen Ryden able to shut him out. And Suggs. And now we're seeing things getting chippy once again, JJ.
Back to the start of this game. No one is backing down. Both teams standing up, and they're taking exception to every shove.
Well, and this is what happens when you play a team so many times. This is the third time these two teams have played this season. And as we see here, Ryden just turns around and has a little bit of a word. And Josh Suggs, normally a very, very composed, a very cool person. So that leads you to wonder perhaps what was said there that triggered Suggs to react that way. And he is now receiving a talking to from our official. It's Suggs and Ryden there. And Suggs visibly frustrated. On the road, can't watch the match. Turned on Sirius XMFC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access show featuring Mike Watts and Devin Kerr every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the Champions League. Sirius XMFC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app. So it looks like we see double yellows here with Beckford receiving one. Or excuse me, it was Galena that receives the yellow. And also for New Mexico United, it was Josh Suggs.
And that, with Suggs right there, that was a classic case of second man in. Yep. It doesn't matter what was said at that point in time when he came in and had the shove. The ref sees that. But he's wearing the armband, so Suggs knows what he is doing. That was a calculated move, and if he picked up the yellow card, I think he was okay with it in that situation.
Speaking of Suggs, losing possession there. Here's Galena now in for Makangila. Bruce, again, beautiful outside of the football, played forward, but Tanari unable to win the foot race to it. It's played all the way back to Austin Yearwood, and now Our official is going to say that it perhaps hit him. Nicked him on the way, and looks like we've got a drop ball here. Just a little bit of gamesmanship here. Just 5 minutes into our second half. Again, my name's Tyler Ortega, joined tonight by JJ Buck, and now we're going to see a foul called on Devin Sandoval, and he's going to go into the book.
Yeah, Devin went in there late. New Mexico right now obviously frustrated. They want to show their form, but you can't do that right now. You have too many players sitting on yellow cards, and that was an opportunity. The ball was clearly away, and you don't need that, especially with Devin Sandoval being a second-half substitute.
That yellow card is brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. When you've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. So 6 bookings so far, JJ. We're only 53 minutes in. And now Suggs is going to head over and have a word with our official in the center circle. Troy Lesane received a talking to very early from our official in this one, so I think he's toned it down just a little bit. We did see Lesane receive a red card here at the lab just last month. As we're back to play here. And that ball falls nicely for New Mexico United. It's going to be a throw-in. And Bruce is just dragged down there by Anderson. And we see a straight red given to Anderson. Colorado Springs now down to 10 men.
Well, I was just going to say, are we going to see this game finish 11 apiece? That's not the case. A straight red card to the 18-year-old pulling down Bruce, and that was not a part of the play. Malicious foul right there. Might not be the worst thing you've ever seen, but with the way this game is going, this ref has to find a way to take control of the situation.
Yeah, and I mean, when you do something like that, JJ, you're up around the head and neck area. We know that that is a focus for our officials to pay attention, extra attention to that, especially nowadays. But that is going to be a red card there for number 27, and that's Sebastian Anderson, as he is going to hit the showers early. As we have another look here, and you can see it right there on the corner of the screen. He just grabs Bruce up around the shoulder, perhaps around the base of the neck, and just yanks him down.
Yeah, and that was getting a chance to see the replay. I thought he might have clipped him from behind. Nope, that was the right call right there. You just can't be pulling people down, as you mentioned, Tyler. And it was really who's going to break first. As chippy as this game has been, and we see Anderson being escorted off the pitch.
And now all 9,500 plus in the stands here tonight, really letting Sebastian Anderson hear it. As that red card was brought to you by Roadrunner Law Firm. You've been fouled in a car crash, call your legal home team, Roadrunner Law Firm. That is the curse in full voice. Echoes of Yellow and Black Army ring throughout the lab. As that ball falls to Kalen Ryden. Suggs looking for Bruce, near side. Chest sit does Daniel Bruce. Bruce cuts it back now, crosses. And a belter from Yearwood, and trying to replicate the magic from last month here, and Yearwood skies it into the curse.
And now we see the adjustments from the Switchbacks. Down a man, your right back was just sent off. What does Brendan Burke do here? Now with a lot of time still left in the second half.
And now we see a chunk of the fill-in turf has come up. As we have another look at this TLC replay, Bruce just floats one to the back post there. It looked like Tenari and Rivas were awaiting that one. Back underway with the goal kick there from Sean Melvin.
Now what you want to see from United is take advantage, possession, control the game, build up. Don't get stuck playing too direct now. You have a little bit more space on the field. Work on your build up, limit some of those direct balls, and put pressure on the switchbacks.
So Echevarria plays it quickly. Tenari able to deflect that one, and now New Mexico United looking to counter. Tenari held up. Guzman pokes it forward for Sandoval. Azira now. Far side to Suggs. Rivas turns, tries to play a through ball for Devin Sandoval. And Sandoval's pass for Tenari is sent away by Ockford.
This is where we could really see Rivas and Tenari get involved now.
Here's Suggs. Looking for Daniel Bruce, far post, and that is a big save by Melvin. If Bruce gets to that, JJ, he has a very good look at goal. And it is going to be a goal kick. Is Melvin able to deflect that one off Daniel Bruce? As we have another look at this TLC replay. Melvin just deflecting it off the Englishman. Big break there for Switchbacks.
Melvin is an aggressive keeper. He comes off his line a lot right there. He had to do it because that touch, whether it was chest, head, whatever, was right in front of Bruce.
Played all the way back now by Edwards, and Melvin will send it away. Tete able to trap, and now New Mexico United in possession. Here's Guzman. Ryden playing one long for Daniel Bruce. And it finds Sean Melvin once again, but Daniel Bruce saying, hey, I've got some speed on this side too.
Especially on that side, Bruce being on their side. We saw Echevarria go from center mid. He's playing right back. So you have a guy that's a little bit out of position. So if you want to put some pressure over the top, Bruce is a good guy to try to have on the end of a ball.
Bruce, typically we see him come on as a late sub, JJ, and getting the start tonight, as we saw earlier with Harry Swartz injured. This is Bruce's 5th start of the season, his 12th appearance. And he's been subbed off in all 4 of his starts so far. We'll look to see if that's the case here this evening. As that is Makangila going to ground, and a foul called against the black and yellow.
And I think Bruce might be in store for a full 90 unless United get the lead, and then Troy Lesane wants to make some adjustments to the formation just because the roster available. There are not a lot of attacking options or wing players for United. You know, a lot of the subs, whether it was the strikers we talked about, Sandoval and Illich on the bench, or just your center mid or defenders. So those guys up top, Rivas, Tenari, Bruce, Suggs, possibly looking at a full 90 tonight.
Well, it looks like we will be seeing a substitution for New Mexico United here in the next few minutes. And as I look over at the 4th officials area, it is Chelo Martinez for New Mexico United, looking like he's about to enter the match. Not just yet. Is trying to get back underway. And here it comes. It is Chelo Martinez entering the match for New Mexico United, and he will replace the goal scorer, Sergio Rivas.
And if you're Troy Lesane at this point in time, you're looking to just get a little extra punch in the attacking 3rd and 4th. Martinez, Now you have your two leading creators in terms of chances created on the season coming into this game. Tenari and Martinez both at 15.
Well, and for Rivas, as you mentioned, JJ, it's 2 games in 4 days. New Mexico is going to be right back here against Charleston Battery on Monday night. So perhaps just trying to save some legs for Sergio Rivas there over the past half hour. And for what it's worth, Rivas, he's had himself a great game. He's the lone goal scorer for New Mexico United, scoring in the 17th minute. But he also picked up a yellow card as well.
He's hitting on that yellow with the way this game has gone. That's a smart sub right now for Troy Lesesne.
Well, and when you replace a guy like Sergio Rivas with Chelo Martinez, it's the same skill set. They're essentially the same type of player.
Yeah,
so
like
there's
for
not
like.
there's not a whole lot of drop off there. As this ball played over the top for Galena. Ryden loses control. Galena, right foot! And another save by Tambakis. The Greek wall between the sticks for New Mexico United. Tambakis with another big save.
Tambakis making this a 1-1 game when it could be 2-1, 3-1 from the Switchbacks.
And you can see Galena had a excellent look at goal there. And again, Tambakis just comes up big for the black and yellow.
So Ryden going in really strong, trying to push Galena off his mark. Didn't get it. Ryden went down, and then Galena had the scoring opportunity.
Here's Daniel Bruce. He's got Tenari inside the 18 along with Sandoval. Bruce! And just curls it up over the bar, as we did see a substitution for Switchbacks during that last dead ball. Entering the match, number 44, Jordan Burt, as he replaces number 13, Stevie Echevarria.
Burt is a veteran. That is a natural position for him, so they go to the back four.
Jordan Burt, 6'1", 175. It's a big body on that back line, and he's going to have his hands full for this final half hour dealing with Daniel Bruce and those runs. And Jordan Burt, no stranger to playing against the black and yellow. Here's Guzman. He's got Suggs in some space. Just atop the 18. Here's Chelo. And nobody making the run behind Martinez, but it's going to fall back to Guzman. Here's Tenari. He's got 4 assists this season. Tenari looking for his 5th, and nothing doing there.
And Tenari creating that opportunity, getting the deflection. And Switchbacks trying to play it out of the back. Ball comes back to him, and it finds its way to Melvin. And Melvin is rounded into form in the last couple of games. Was injured to start the season. He's taking over this number 1 role for the Switchbacks.
That foul called on Makangila. Zira looking for Daniel Bruce. And Bruce, he looks to just be playing on the shoulder of whoever's playing right back over here, regardless of where the ball is when New Mexico United are in possession.
Yeah, of course, Anderson getting the red card, the right back that was sent off the field. The area initially United was trying to attack when Echevarria came over to cover, so that was a quick substitution to get Burt in there. But the one thing if you're United is you don't want to get drawn into just playing a long ball after a long ball. You possess, build up, force the Switchbacks to defend you, and then get deep in their territory.
And it's not like you're lacking creativity there, JJ. I mean, you've got Josh Suggs. You have Daniel Bruce. You have Chelo Martinez. You have Andrew Tenari. And then, of course, leading the line, it's Devin Sandoval. So here's Tete. Tenari now. Through ball for Daniel Bruce. One-on-one with Burt. Bruce, right foot. Suggs! Just out of the reach of the captain as New Mexico United in search of the go-ahead goal.
But you saw pass out of the midfield, build up in possession. He get a chance created. Just needed a runner on the end.
Let's see this TLC replay here as Daniel Bruce, no issues getting by Burt. That was a great cross played in. Unfortunately, just out of the reach there for Josh Suggs. Here's Galena. It's Mahoney. The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and their players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Tete there to cut that one out momentarily. Burt comes back in possession, plays it down for Beckford. Cross, and the header, and it's saved by Tambakis. What a save by the keeper, Alex Tambakis, single-handedly keeping New Mexico United in this game.
Turning into Stretch Armstrong when they need him the most again.
Let's have another look at that TLC replay. Great cross played into the box. It looked like Galena was about to put Switchbacks ahead, and there, Alex Tambakis turning them away with one hand. And we've got a New Mexico United player down on the pitch. It looks to be Juan Pablo Guzman. He's sitting up. We're not seeing the trainer coming on just yet. Guzman looks to be okay. Guzman, this is his 10th start, his 10th appearance on this season, as we have another look at that Galena header, and it's Tambakis. Incredible save. You know, with Tambakis, we knew he was a great goalie coming in, JJ, but when you lose a guy like Cody Mizell, so close to the start of the season, everyone's looking around at each other like, where do we turn from here? Tambakis has not only filled those shoes, but I think he's well surpassed a lot of people's expectations.
No doubt about it. Tambakis has been better than advertised. There was a moment early in the season when you look at the new additions, and yeah, we've seen some big-time moments, but the most impactful player has been Alex Tambakis. What he's able to do to step up, big-time saves. United sitting here up a man trying to take control of this game, and yet Tambakis is still having to come up in a big way to keep this game tied at 1.
Just over 20 minutes left in this match as we see Daniel Bruce and Josh Suggs switch sides now. Bruce attacking on the far side. Perhaps just providing a different look now for Jordan Burt. And when you make that switch, you've got Josh Suggs now playing on the left as a left-footed player, whereas Daniel Bruce likes to cut back on that left side and get it on his favored right foot. It's Mahoney now. Here's Mayaka. Loses possession, and Ryden just blasts that one up. Foul called against Makangila. It's a Fiesta Auto Group free kick coming up. And it looks like we have one of the switchbacks asking for a substitution. And we are going to see Ilya Illich entering the match for Andrew Tenari. And this substitution here, JJ, not Illich, but the one that we're about to show you. We are witnessing history here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That on your screen is Christian Nava. He is 17 years old. He is a New Mexico United Academy player. And with him stepping onto the pitch right now, He has just made history as the first New Mexico United Academy player to step foot on the pitch for the first team.
What a decision from Troy Lesane. We knew that in terms of the attacking options, not the same amount of depth as usual for New Mexico United, with Harry Schwartz out with Amando Moreno on Gold Cup duty for his country, and Troy Lesane making a big swing for the fences, bringing in the 17-year-old, played at Albuquerque High School Academy product, and it's a credit to New Mexico United that they talked about bringing youth players along, and here we are seeing one on a huge stage, big moment in the season.
And not only that, we've talked up and down about how crucial this game is, JJ. So this just shows you the confidence that head coach Troy Lesane has in Christian Nava. And I was able to watch a little bit of Christian during the preseason, and Christian Nava was very impressive. He had a game against FC Tucson and a lot of their first team, and he just tore them apart.
What a moment for Nava.
And it looks like we will see Beckford be replaced, as well as Makangila for Switchbacks. Or excuse me, not Makangila, it was Mayaka that went off. And there's Beckford on your screen. He's gone off as well. So entering the match now, we see number 7, Jose Torres for Switchbacks. And also number 77, Andre Lewis. Lewis, another one of those Switchbacks players that is no stranger to playing against the black and yellow.
Lewis provides some punch. He is another one of those guys that is really finding his footing in Colorado Springs. He was the 7th overall draft pick by Vancouver in the 2014 Super Draft, so he's a talented player just looking for his opportunity.
1-1, 74th minute in a crucial Mountain Division game. Tyler Ortega here alongside JJ Buck. And if you're hanging out with us here for some Friday Night Football, you have witnessed history tonight. As we just mentioned, Christian Nava is making his USL debut as the first ever New Mexico United Academy player to suit up for the first team.
And now possession is going to be even bigger for United. You look at Illich, you look at Sandoval, guys that aren't going to beat you in a foot race. So the buildup is key with the way Illich is playing now with under Sandoval and Nava to his left.
Here's Bruce. On his right foot, slides it through looking for Sandoval. Azira battling with Galena, getting their legs tangled up, and the veteran Michael Azira will now see yellow. 75th minute.
Now, United fans aren't going to want to hear this one, but the Switchbacks have handled this game since a red card very well. They've got shots on goal. They haven't let United get dangerous opportunities in succession, and they're still frustrating New Mexico.
New Mexico United looking to end their 3-game losing streak. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, only picking up 7 points in their previous 7 matches, going 2 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Galena has that one poked away by Guzman. Back for Mahoney. Here's Ilya Ilic. Gives that one away. Makangila now. Stolen by Azira. Here's Christian Nava. Nava, an incredibly quick and shifty player. It's going to be interesting to see the way that he adapts here, as he is by far the smallest player on the pitch, standing at only 5'2".
And we're talking about emotions late in the first half. United conceding a goal, seeing a teammate go off, and now you're a 17-year-old making your professional debut in a 1-1 game. Your team is a man up. I can only imagine what is going through his mind right now.
And we said it earlier, ladies and gentlemen, this was the highest attended match so far this season for New Mexico United. We have just received word that official attendance tonight, 9,728 here at the Lab. Not bad for a Friday night.
Love it.
Back into Sandoval here. Here's Cello up for Azira. Bruce. That's at least the third time Bruce has tried that pass with the outside of his right foot. Obviously, one of his favorite tools in the toolbox to use. Back for Cello. Long ball for Bruce. He's got loads of space. Here's the Englishman, Daniel Bruce. He has Sandoval. He goes for goal instead. And that was a big save there by Sean Melvin. And now Austin Yearwood is going to see yellow. That is a Roadrunner yellow card issued to Austin Yearwood. So by my count, that's the 7th yellow to go along with a red as well.
Bruce, in another situation deep in the final third, decided to go for goal right there. And this crowd is restless. They're waiting for something.
Who's going to produce that one moment of magic as we are nearing the 80th minute here this evening? Will it be Devin Sandoval? Will it be Christian Nava? Will it be Ilya Ilic? The Serbian spent the last 2 seasons with Indy 11. Here's Cello. Cuts it back. And dispossessed there by Torres.
Yeah, Switchbacks have been holding that back line steady so far, and we've seen United, the best chances they've created is when they get the ball in the middle, midfield, and then pass out of it, get it wide, cut back inside, and they continue just pushing that button.
Galina cuts in. Galina on the right foot, has space. Galina! And it's off frame for Mishi Galina. The Democratic Republic of Congo is Galina, the 21-year-old here for Switchbacks.
And Galina was another one of those players that Springs brought in this offseason, and you see his touches right there. Just that little hesitation froze the defender. He created enough space and pulled it wide.
Bruce tried to play Ilic through, but cut out by Mahoney. Gets it right back. Tries to find Ilic once more, and the Serbian just unable to keep that one in play.
I like the idea, and this is, well, we can say it for everyone, a big moment. But Ilic is another one of those players that needs a spark. that hasn't really had his moment yet, wearing the black and yellow and playing up top, 1-1 in game, going towards the curse. Chances there.
This is his 8th appearance on the young season. He's made 3 starts. He was subbed off in each of those starts, but as you mentioned, JJ, looking for that first goal. As I mentioned, spending 2019 and 2020 with Indy 11. Didn't get a ton of playing time there with Indy, as they had Tyler Pasher only making 13 appearances and 4 starts. That one falls to Azira in the midfield. Again, Bruce, loads of space. Bruce does very well to keep that in play on the far side. Crosses in, Nava's at the back post, and Melvin rises up. He loses the ball. Sandoval back for Cello, one-times it, and just blasts it over.
Had it right there. You see Cello was just trying to pass it into the back of the net and chipped it. It's a flash of Melvin at the last second, but another missed chance in the final third.
So we have a look at this TLC replay. Melvin, as he goes to ground, the ball just squirts out of his gloves. Sandoval just plays it back to Cello, and for what it's worth, there were 3 Switchbacks defenders on that back line.
The Switchbacks did get back, but that's one, if you're Martinez, just want to see that one get on frame. You saw it just try to open up his foot, pass it into the back, but he just extended that right foot too far.
And we've got a free kick coming up here for New Mexico United. Fiesta Auto Group free kick.
This is a Fiesta Auto free kick.
'84th minute here at the Lab. 1-1. This is an excellent opportunity here for New Mexico United. Cello Martinez will be delivering. He's got some big targets in there, JJ. You see Illich, you see Sandoval, you see Tete, Azira, all of those guys standing over 6 feet.
This is where New Mexico has been at their best tonight.
Here's Martinez. Right-footed cross. Sandoval flicks it on. Falls to Michael Azira. Back for Christian Nava now. And Nava able to work that one through. Azira almost got it back from Tete. Here's Cello. Cello crosses this one in. Looking for Sandoval. It falls to Nava. The 17-year-old Christian Nava. That shot is blocked, and it's going to be out for a goal kick.
How about Nava stepping up? The move he made with 2 Switchback players on him to get that ball to Azira was fantastic.
As we have another look at that, just a little bit of a hesitation, and Christian Nava only had one thing in mind from the top of the 18, and that was to get a shot attempt off.
We call that the Yearwood. Trying to pull that off.
Here's Cello. Cello with a bad pass, gives it away. Switchbacks now, and unable to retain possession here on the near side. Five minutes of regular time remain as we are now in the 86th, and this ball's headed down. Melvin has to just swat that one away, but facing pressure from Sandoval and Nava, he does well.
And Melvin's put himself in some tough situations tonight, but he's also bailed out his teammates. And that was a quick decision. The header down from his defender and just sticking that arm out.
Both keepers have made some really big plays here this evening to keep this game tied at 1. Ockford just sends that one away momentarily. Here's Nava. Heavy first touch for the youngster. Makangila tracking back to deal with the danger. For the W, the USL recently announced the formation of the USL W League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs from across the Championship, League One, League Two, and new expansion markets, the W League is set to begin play in 2022 in more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to uslwleague.com to learn more. Nava throws it into Sandoval. Sandoval goes to ground, not going to get that call.
No, but I love the decision there from Nava, the quick throw in, seeing Sandoval posting up in the box.
The curse in full voice behind the goal, trying to will the home side to victory. Martinez crosses it in. Sandoval, and Illich actually went over the head of Sandoval. And you can see United constantly just knocking on the door, JJ, but they just can't break through.
We hear the heartbeats, but the finish is not there. And I think that one caught Illich off guard once it got over Sandoval. I don't think he was expecting Sandoval to miss that one. And what is frustrating for United, if they don't find a goal here in the final minutes, is the chances they didn't at least get on a goal. You know, the Switchbacks have had more shots on goal here in the second half.
Well, and Switchbacks, they're doing what New Mexico United did for the first game up at Widener Field when we saw Andrew Tenari go off very early in the second half. United played a man down. They were actually tied at 1 goal apiece at that point. They were able to tack on a couple more, although they were shorthanded. But although Switchbacks haven't been able to find the back of the net, they've created more opportunities, and they've looked very dangerous. Here's Cello. It's another Fiesta Auto Group free kick here. 89th minute, approaching the 90th. Martinez will deliver. Headed away by Mahoney, and Andre Lewis sends that one away. Cello will play it all the way back to Tambakis.
The Switchbacks has done a much better job defending the set pieces here in the second half.
So it looks like Kalen Ryden has left his spot in the back line, and he's now playing up top. Here's Daniel Bruce for Illich. Inside the 18, poked away, and it's going to be a corner kick, Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico United, as we have now gone past our 90 minutes. We are officially in stoppage time, and we have been informed that there are 5 minutes of New Mexico Piñon stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Can United find the back of the net here for 3 points? Cello Martinez to deliver. Looking near post, and it's Azira! Heading United in front in the 91st minute. It's his first goal for the black and yellow, and the lab is going crazy.
You give them enough chances, they're going to come through. It's the one thing that has been working tonight for United, These set pieces, I love the setup. I was watching Christian Nava in there trying to be a pest, getting in front of the keeper, Melvin, just trying to be a body in the way. Azira finds enough space, and what a delivery from Martinez. The pace on the corner, and Azira just had to make sure he put that one on goal.
That goal, that New Mexico United goal, was scored by Michael Azira. Goals are brought to you by T-Mobile. T-Mobile has got Michael Azira covered. How about that, JJ? What a way to open your New Mexico United account in front of 9,700 people here at the Lab against your rival in Colorado Springs in the 91st minute.
And if you see on that replay, the keeper Melvin doing a two-handed shove. Who was he shoving? He was shoving Nava out of the way. He was a pest, and the shove was occurring as Azira was heading the ball into the back of the net. That is what you want on a set piece. You want to cause chaos in front of the net. New Mexico did that and capitalized.
And this match not over yet. We are in the 93rd minute. There are 5 stoppage time minutes allotted by our official here this evening. Got to imagine we'll see maybe another 30 seconds to a minute after that goal. Switchbacks now looking to steal a point here on the road. And Nava just comes in and sends the danger away. It's a savvy play from the 17-year-old right there.
What a final few minutes from Nava from New Mexico United.
Sandoval plays it over to Cello. Cello now, he has Illich making the run. Here's Cello, finds Illich. Can Illich get it? And Illich makes his way around the keeper. And Illich tacks on a third. First goal in black and yellow for Ilya Illich. And it is 3-1. New Mexico United are on top. The wheels falling off the Switchbacks train here, JJ late. And for the 3rd time this season, we are seeing a 3-1 scoreline between these two sides. This is the 2nd time Switchbacks have played at the Lab. That game ended 3-1 as well.
You cannot play a game between these two and have anything other than a 3-1 scoreline. How about Martinez, though? The touch he had around the defender at midfield was phenomenal. The build-up, and then Illich. That is a moment for any player, for a striker that can take the weight off your shoulder, just seeing the ball go in the back of the net. And he had to create a little bit, get it past Melvin, score from a tough angle. We needed to see that from Illich, and he needed that.
Well, in the way New Mexico United have been playing over these last few minutes, JJ, it's just been liquid football. Everything just flowing through the channels. You see Cello delivering. He's picked up 2 assists in the last couple of minutes here for New Mexico United. And this looks to be a 3-1 victory in front of 9,700 plus at the Lab on a Friday night.
And the Switchbacks are going to be hurting not pulling out a draw in this one, because up until that corner kick goal from New Mexico United, they were doing everything that they needed to do, down a man, trying to survive on the road, actually creating some chances. And then that was the moments in the final third, the magic that New Mexico needed.
Well, and let's just rewind, JJ, about 10 minutes when Galena had an open header and Tambakis comes up with a one-handed save. At that point, the match is tied at 1-1. If Switchbacks are able to cash in on that, I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible just the turnaround that we've seen here in just a few minutes. That's the full-time whistle here at the Lab. New Mexico United with 2 late goals in the 92nd and 94th minute, victorious over Switchbacks FC.
Oh, that was a huge result. It would have felt like a loss tonight had this game ended in a tie. With what happened, the Switchbacks going down a man in the 53rd minute, coming back home in front of this crowd of over 9,000 plus. But in the final minutes to pull it out, these division games are a 6-point swing. New Mexico needed this to right the ship for the time being and to set themselves up for Monday night.
And that sees New Mexico move up to 2 wins and 1 loss against Switchbacks FC this season. They will be playing one more time here at the Lab just a little bit later this season, as there is Ilya Illich opening his New Mexico United account, getting hugs from teammates. Sean Melvin, some good sportsmanship going all around, JJ. And, you know, for as strange of a football match that we watched, I'd say for about the first 88 minutes, maybe, I want to say. There was a lot of stoppages. There wasn't really a whole lot of rhythm to this game. But for things to end the way that they did, just an incredible atmosphere here at the Lab.
9 yellow cards, 1 red card in this game tonight. It was chippy. They're going back and forth. These teams, they don't like each other. The Mountain Division, when you see teams so many times, you're going to have moments like that, and it's who stays composed, and United stayed composed longer than Colorado Springs.
So we're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Sandwich plus fries for $5.99 is made live in a real-life sports bar with live, non-virtual friends. This is real life. So real it's $5.99 for a limited time. Buffalo Wild Wings.
This one's for all the parents whose idea of a big night out is a 15-minute drive to a takeout window. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
In New Mexico, we know true. True beauty, true adventure, true color, and true culture. Home to the artists, the warriors, and the multi-generational, multiracial, all-inclusive family that we call the United. This is New Mexico United, and New Mexico United is New Mexico true.
Welcome back to the Lab here, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Ortega, JJ Buck here, joining you for this whirlwind of a match, JJ. Really, things didn't start going until about the 90th minute. New Mexico United tacking on 2 goals in stoppage time to secure the 3-1 win.
It's a sigh of relief from New Mexico United players and fans. They were getting restless. We were wondering if that moment was going to come, and boy, did 2 moments come late in this one.
So tonight's Duke City Final Cares score is 3-1 as we look at the full-time stats. As we see 16 shots from the black and yellow JJ Switchbacks, only able to muster up 3 shots in that second half, finishing the night with 9. Only 4 of those on frame. New Mexico United, as expected, dominated the possession in that second half with Switchbacks going down to 10 men in the 54th minute. But 9 yellow cards and 1 red card. I think that's really the story of the match here.
It was. The teams were playing hard. They were playing on an edge. And the moment that broke, Sebastian Anderson picking up that red card changed everything, because the Switchbacks, the second half of the first half, and then really early in the second half, were the team in a better position.
Let's go ahead and have a look at tonight's highlights. As we start things off, this was the first goal of the game off a quick restart. It was Sergio Rivas tapping home, locking in his 3rd goal of the season, his 2nd against Switchbacks, and that just another one of those set-piece plays.
It's beautiful delivery there by Suggs, going far post, and then everyone just forgot about Rivas. They followed the flight of the ball. Great touch across and easy finish.
And Rivas, with that goal, he moves up to be New Mexico United's leading scorer on the season with 3 goals. The black and yellow have scored 17 goals so far this season, and they've had 11 players do that. So, as we mentioned, just looking for that one guy to step up. And, tonight it was Sergio Rivas. Tonight it was Michael Azira. Tonight it was Ilya Ilic. And this was Haji Berry equalizing in the 33rd minute, notching his 12th goal in 11 appearances, leading the Golden Boot race here in the USL Championship. And that is his 3rd goal of the season in as many matches against New Mexico United. But for as brilliant as he was in this moment, JJ, he disappeared quite a bit tonight.
He did, and once Colorado Springs went a man down, they weren't able to really have the same possession and build up, and it took Berry out of the game.
And here, this was Chelo Martinez finding Michael Azira for the go-ahead goal in the 92nd minute. The veteran notching his first goal in black and yellow, and that's got to feel good.
Absolutely. You see Azira right there capitalizing. I love the setup from New Mexico United on this corner. You actually see everyone start on the line and then rush away, and then it gets the switchbacks kind of jumping forward, catches Melvin off guard, and an open header for Azira.
And you can see all 9,700 fans here in attendance tonight losing their minds, and this was the icing on top of the cake. Ilya Ilic, 94th minute, goes around the keeper, and we had a really good look at that angle from here where we were, JJ. I didn't think he was going to be able to get that on frame.
That's a tight ankle, but that is a veteran forward showing his skill. The spin he put on that one to find the back of the net. That was a huge moment for Ilic because it's tough for a forward when he's not getting a lot of minutes, but to find his form, and he wasn't in form, but it's something like that. A goal late in a contest, finding the back of the net that can start to open things up for him moving forward.
And tonight's play of the match brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It was the corner that was scored by Michael Azira. So he said his first goal in New Mexico United, black and yellow. Following up on that, our man of the match here tonight was presented by Pepsi. That is Sergio Rivas, who scored his 3rd goal on the season. And there's just something about Sergio scoring in front of the lab.
Sergio at home. Shout out to local kid, fellow Cibola graduate, Cougar. So congratulations to Sergio Rivas. Another strong performance in the first half.
And the save of the match brought to you by Positive Energy Solar. Generate positive energy. It was Alex Tambakis with the massive save in the one-on-one against Beckford to keep things deadlocked. And Tambakis, he had a number of saves that could have been classified as the save of the match, but he really stepped up big here tonight.
It was a man of the match performance from Tambakis. You talk about the save in the first half, the big save in the second half off the header. It kept United there and gave them a chance to get 3 points.
We're going to be right back here on Monday night for some Monday Night Football. New Mexico United hosting Charleston Battery, the first meeting between the two clubs. So definitely make sure to tune in here on ESPN Plus to catch that one. That's going to do it for us here tonight. For everybody behind the scenes, for my color commentator, JJ Buck, my name is Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.